I used to see the world the way he does, full of possibilities, untainted by the weight of experience. He sees the world through a rose-colored lens, a sense of naivety that both frustrates and fascinates me in the same breath. I miss for myself what I see in him, but life has a way of sharpening your edges, making you trade wonder for wisdom, caution for clarity. And yet, here he is, standing in front of me, eyes filled with the same light I lost along the way. It's exhilarating and frustrating, because how do you love someone who still believes in magic when you have seen behind the curtain? Psychological research suggests that childhood naivety or an idealistic, optimistic outlook can serve as a protective factor against stress and depression. And I really believe I wouldn't experience depression had I not lost my sense of naivety. When we view the world through a rose-colored lens, we may be less likely to perceive or dwell on negative experiences, leading to a more hopeful, less anxious state of mind. However, as I grow older and face life's hardships, my perspective shifts towards realism, sometimes even cynicism, due to accumulated traumas and disappointments. This shift contributes to feelings of sadness, loss, or even depression as I become more aware of life's complexities and uncertainties. He has seen the worst of humanity, been in places and spaces that no human should ever desire. He has suffered profound loss and encountered life's roughest waters. So if anyone should be hardened by life, it's him. And yet, somehow, he still walks through the world with open hands, open eyes, and an open heart. Meanwhile, I, who have faced my own battles, find myself gripping reality with both hands, wary of every unseen turn. So what's the difference? Why does he still see life through a rose-colored lens, while I brace for the storm? Interestingly, some psychologists argue that a certain level of positive illusion, a slightly idealized view of life, can contribute to overall well-being and resilience, while extreme naivety can make a person vulnerable to deception or repeated disappointments, completely losing that optimistic outlook which can lead to despair. My personal experience aligns with the latter psychological perspective. Losing naivety may have made me more realistic, but it also removed a form of mental cushioning that once shielded me from the weight of deeper emotional struggles. Pure realism can sometimes feel heavy, making life seem like an endless series of harsh truths and struggles. On the other hand, idealism, while it may set you up for disappointments, can keep you hopeful, creative, and resilient. An idealist believes in possibilities, sees beauty in imperfection, and can find meaning even in hardship. Of course, unchecked idealism can lead to denial or being taken advantage of. But if I had to live in only one mindset, I'd rather believe in the potential for good, even at the risk of being wrong. It makes life feel lighter and more worth the fight. I understand on a great level that what I'm experiencing now is a clash between cognitive schemas, deeply ingrained mental frameworks that shape how I see the world. My past experiences have reshaped my schema to be more realistic or even cautious, while my partner's worldview aligns more with idealism and optimism. When I interact with him, my brain experiences both cognitive dissonance, and that's the discomfort of holding two conflicting beliefs, and nostalgic resonance, a longing for a past mindset that once brought me joy. This is both triggering and exhilarating. Triggering because my protective experienced mind sees potential dangers that he might overlook due to how he sees and interacts with the world around him. Even though we have both been through pain, I'm hyper aware of how the world can turn. His naivety reminds me of the risk of being too open or trusting. On the other hand, it's exhilarating because he embodies a lightness and wonder that I once had, and deep down, part of me misses that. It's refreshing, almost like watching an old version of myself before life hardened certain parts of me. So, what can you and I do when faced with such a conflicting outlook? For one, accept that different perspectives can coexist. Just because you see the world differently doesn't mean either of you is wrong. He doesn't need to be hardened, and I don't need to become naive again. Both perspectives are valid. Secondly, let him or her remind you, not frustrate you. Instead of feeling the loss of your past idealism, allow his or her outlook to reintroduce some of that wonder into your life. I don't have to fully return to naivety, but I can borrow some of its joy and lightness. Thirdly, recognize that people grow on their own. He may eventually develop more realism through his own experiences, but forcing someone to wake up to reality too soon can be like cutting a butterfly out of its cocoon. He needs his own journey. And last but not least, I think of it this way: I am the grounding presence in the relationship, and he is the uplifting force. Neither role is better, but together we create balance. Even if I had to choose realism before, now I don't have to. And I do give myself grace when I get antsy at times because I see that he can't see the bigger picture. Here's the thing: his ability to see the world differently is part of what makes him who he is. Just as my experiences have shaped my cautious realism, his perspective has shaped his optimism or idealism. If he always saw what I saw, he wouldn't be the same person who brings me that sense of exhilaration and lightness. So, in conclusion, I seek to manage this conflicting situation by asking myself in times of difference: is this a moment where he truly needs guidance, or is it just my instinct to protect kicking in? Sometimes letting him experience things firsthand is more valuable than warning him. I also try to express myself without overcorrecting. I share my concerns without taking away his perspective. Instead of, you don't see the bigger picture, I try, I get why you see it this way, but I've learned that there might be more to it. Do you want to hear my take? Another way I balance things is to recognize that some lessons are personal. Some insights can't be taught, they have to be lived. It's hard watching someone learn things the hard way, but just as I grew through experience, he might need to as well. And finally, I remind myself of his strengths. His different way of seeing the world gives me strengths I might not have. He embraced possibilities I would dismiss too quickly. His trust in people allows him to build connections in ways I wouldn't. So, if you're in the dilemma of realism versus idealism, you don't have to carry the weight of the idealist learning curve. Sometimes, the best thing you can do is let them be who they are while allowing yourself to soften just a little in their presence. You might be surprised at how much they teach you, even if their picture looks different from yours. The key is balance, maintaining hope and optimism while being aware of reality.
Like, share, comment, and subscribe for more episodes. Thank you for watching and continue to rise and excel.